Hello and welcome to the Emma's for Mama podcast. I'm your host, Abby Halberstadt, happy wife, mama to 10, Bible-believing Christian, and I have two of my favorite people in the world on the show today, my twin girls, Evy and Nola, and we are going to chat all things baking and big family and just have a great conversation, and I think you guys are going to love it. But before I jump into that, I want to highlight our podcast sponsor, Voetberg Music Academy. As the school year starts and things get really busy with academics and sports and all the extracurriculars, save yourself the commute of music lessons and do them in the comfort of your own home instead. You can share Voetberg music lessons between siblings. You can use my code MSForMama25 for 25% off each month that you're enrolled, and you get all kinds of fun perks like badges that are mailed to your door when you make certain achievements, even cash prizes for the contests that they have, 24-hour access to your online instructors, a fun song-based approach to learning that makes your kids want to practice without any nagging from you, and the ability to join with thousands of other like-minded families who will support you with community in your music lesson journey. If that sounds like a fun and affordable way to learn, check out VoetbergMusicAcademy.com and don't forget to use the code MSForMama25 at checkout. I also want to tell you about our brand new podcast sponsor, GlowBodyPT. I get asked questions all the time about how you recover after childbirth physically from things like diastasis recti, pelvic floor issues, incontinence, looking like you're 4 months pregnant when you haven't had a baby in a year and a half. And GlowBodyPT is a 12-week post-pregnancy plan developed by a mom of 5 who approaches everything from a biblical worldview, which I absolutely love. The program is aimed at helping you close that gap between your abs, heal your pelvic floor, and help you feel like yourself again. You can use the code MSForMama20 for $20 off the 12-week program at GlowBodyPT.com. Again, that's MSForMama20 for $20 off. Well, hey friends, I have an especially sweet treat for you today in the form of my twin daughters, Evy and Nola, on the podcast as my guests. Thanks for coming on, girls.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad you're here. They are some of the sweetest, most cheerful, most fun to be around, hardest working, most creative girls I know. And I say that as their mama, who is absolutely 100% biased, and I fully admit it. But I also have known a lot of girls their age teaching public school, private school, homeschool co-op through the years and being around a lot of kids. And so I am excited to share them with you today because they are true gems. Tell us about yourself, Evy.
I'm Evy. I'm 13 years old and I am the second oldest daughter. And
there's Nola.
I'm Nola. I am also 13 years old. I am the fifth child of 10 and I am the youngest daughter.
Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know, not everyone that listens to this podcast has been here for forever. So I have 3 daughters all together in age. So 15, 13, 13, and then 7 sons, 2 at the beginning and 5 little boys stair step at the end. So who's older?
I am by 8 whole minutes.
8 whole minutes.
That's not even a lot. So
well,
it's still older. Okay, so
yeah, she's not wrong. It's still older. We don't know exactly who was in the womb first or how that worked exactly. Who was
I could be older.
Yeah, who knows? You could have been the first conception, but we'll just never know the answer to that. Okay, so the burning question that has nothing to do with baking or books or anything like that people always want to know is, what's it like being in a big family? Because most people don't come from a family of 10 kids. Evy, what do you think?
It's great. I love having a lot of siblings. You can almost never be lonely. You always have someone to talk with, someone to play with, someone to hang out with, and you get a lot of compliments on your baking.
As long
if it's good.
Yeah, as long as you don't burn it. Yeah, at least 11 compliments on your baking as long as you don't burn it. What are your thoughts, Nola?
Mostly the same thing. It's really nice not to ever be like alone, and you always have a playmate if you want one. So
yeah, and then you guys have that especially because you're identical twins. So you've been together since birth, minus that.
I've always had someone to talk to.
Yeah. And then the next question would be, what's it like being identical twins? Do you like it? Anything you would change? Anything like that?
I like being an identical twin, or just a twin in general, a lot, because it's you always have someone who understands what you are talking about, and you kind of always have someone who you can ask for advice, someone who you can ask for help, who is always by your side mostly. Yeah.
And they are literally by each other's sides. Do y'all still sleep in the same bed?
No, I sleep on the bed on top. But we used to.
Yeah. For a long time, because that's really what they preferred.
Yeah, I was, when we were young, we were scared that we have bunk beds. Yeah. I used to be scared that if I slept on the top bunk, I would squash Nola. It would fall down. And yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason, we were totally fine with sleeping above our other sister because she got squashed. So wasn't I.
I couldn't squash my best buddy.
That's funny. We won't tell Della that y'all were fine with sleeping.
She already knows.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we don't love her. It just means we were scared of squishing each other.
Well, and I think there was another component of scared of spiders on the ceiling or something like that.
Cockroaches.
Oh, yeah.
Cockroaches are way worse than spiders.
They're
That's
just
true.
disgusting.
I don't care if they can't do anything. They're just worse.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. They are. They're just really, really gross. Good thing they're going to survive the apocalypse when everything else dies, right?
Yeah.
Wally. That's right. Okay, so we wrote a baking book together last year, and it was quite a process. Did any of us have a clue what we were doing?
No,
you did.
I mean, I guess you did. I have no idea.
I think that's really kind that y'all think that I did. The fact of the matter is, I am not a cookbook writer. I am a writer, but I really had never formatted recipes before, or that was a major learning curve. And I found that is not my favorite kind of writing. It's very like you spend the whole time being terrified you're going to put the wrong amount of teaspoons in something and somebody's going to make your recipe. And because that was my big part in all of this, was proofing everything and they're the bakers. I mean, I like to bake, but they're the experts. And so
you never really get a chance to bake anymore. Sorry.
No, it's so true. It's almost like a treat if I can be in my own kitchen and mix things up and make cookies, because if we ever mention a baked treat, they're like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So, I don't want to squash that, and they're really good at it. So, so what was your favorite part of the book making process?
Probably when it turned out good. When we were doing pictures and I was making stuff, it was really annoying when I made it and it came out of the oven and I was like, that's overbaked or that's underbaked and it won't turn out well. But it felt really good when we got them just right.
Yeah, it felt really good to just make the perfect recipe that you're like, this tastes amazing.
And it looks good.
So satisfying, and I'm finished with that recipe and I can move on to another one.
Yeah. And I mean, quite honestly, the process is far from glamorous because these girls, I think if I were to picture someone making a cookbook or a baking book, I would picture professional camera crews, people that are in there telling you what to do, helping you time things. I mean, you just think someone's got to come in here that really knows what they're doing and make this happen. But the truth of the matter is, it was a homeschooling mom and two teenagers figuring out how to time sometimes up to 4 or 5 bakes in one day. And then I had a friend who had never done product photography, but she's a photographer, that we hired to come, and she and I brought all of our props. So our table was just, it looked like an explosion of china and tea towels and napkins and servingware. And we set up this white box, and which a white box is basically a white poster background with a white poster base so that the light reflects off of it. And you get a nice pristine white background. And we just played around over there on the table while little boys ran through and we threw snacks at them.
And basically the kitchen.
That's true. The snacks were being made and we would take a picture and then we would.
Here you go. But our kitchen was basically not clean for a whole day.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of hours. And it's covered with flour, sugar, bowls, whisks, baked goods, all the things.
Yeah. I think toward the end of it, like they were talking about the bakes turning out correctly and what a relief that was. When you're learning to have, pretzel bites in the oven and you're prepping dough for focaccia and you've got cookies in the oven in the garage, because we actually have a 60-inch oven, which has 2 sides, plus we have an oven going in the garage, and you got to keep all your timers straight. Like, I'm telling you, these girls are pretty remarkable, because at 13 years old, I was lucky if my cookies came out, decent for one batch, and I paid attention well enough to get them out of the oven, and they were juggling a lot of things. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. The wonder of multitasking.
That's right. The wonder of multitasking. We do a lot of multitasking in our house. The joy of it, though, was that we got to do it together. We got to learn lessons together, genuinely. We got to spend time together. I mean, I wanted to be published since I was 7 years old. And my 13-year-old self is a little jealous of y'all. How does it feel to have like a real book out in the public?
I mean, it feels really cool. I definitely never would have thought this would have ever happened.
Yeah, same. I never thought that I would ever have a book that was going to be published or anything. I never thought I was going to be a writer, but I didn't really.
At first, when they gave us presented the prospect of doing a cookbook, I was like,
oh no.
I've never thought of this. Like, I don't know how to do this. Like, what? I don't know if I can do this. But then now we have it, and it's really cool. I like how that turned out.
I'm glad we did it. So.
Yeah. I think that that's a pretty good metaphor for a lot of things in life. I can't tell you how many things have been incredibly daunting when I've never done anything to do with them before. And then how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. It seems completely overwhelming and way too big to ever handle. And then you just kind of start on the process. So I'll give you a little bit of background. Goodness, I don't know exactly what the timing was. I'm trying to think when we dreamed this up. But I think it was October of 2024, maybe. And I was in Oregon, in my publisher's hometown, and Sean was with me, and we were having breakfast with my publishers. And one of them, named Heather, basically said, I wish that I could find a baking book for my daughter, who's going to be a preteen soon. She goes, any chance your girls want to write one? And she kind of said it what seemed like as a joke, like in passing. She was like, Evy and Nola don't want to write a baking book, do they? And then we went on to keep talking about other projects, but it just stuck in my brain. And so about 10 minutes later, I circled back and was like, so if any, and at the time the girls would have been like 11 or 12. And I said, if anybody could pull this off, with my help, I mean, an adult obviously has to be part of it. It would be Evy and Nola. And I think they would be really good at it. And I think my audience would love it. Were you serious? And she goes, yeah, I actually was. I didn't think you were going to say that. But yes, I've been looking for this book and I can't find it for the market. And she's a publisher and she knows where to look. And so I was like, okay, there's a hole in the market. This is a project I can do with my girls. I don't know what I'm doing either, but we'll figure it out, and figure it out we did. And here we are. And how do y'all think that the book turned out?
I think it turned out great. Honestly, I love how the pictures turned out. They're super fun and colorful and bright, and all the recipes we've made, I actually really love. So
it turned out better than I expected it ever to be. So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
My best friend, Lindsay Long, that does all of the illustrations in my trade books, the Image for Mama trilogy, also did art for the book. She's incredible. This is the first full color illustrations that we've been able to include in a book, because all of the other ones have been black and white. And at one point, so there's this incredible French toast recipe. Talk about that for a second. What do we do?
We make stuffed French toast. It's with raspberries and cream cheese, and it's strawberries. But it's for our Christmas breakfast. It's a tradition we do. It's so good. Yeah,
it's even better now that Nola makes homemade brioche now. Yeah.
That's one of the best parts.
Yeah. So we got this beautiful picture with all of the gooey yumminess that they're describing dripping down it. And Lindsay painted it because there's an illustration of one of the pictures at the beginning of each section. So there's 6 different sections: snacks and breakfast and baked and bread and like special treats. And I'm forgetting some. I'm trying to remember.
We have cookies and bars.
There you go.
Special desserts, snacks, breads, and breakfast.
And I didn't count those, but that's either 5 or 6. I could be. It's been.
I counted it as 5.
There you go. There's 5. And so each section has one of Lindsay's illustrations. And my husband actually saw the illustration of the French toast picture, but it was Lindsay's drawing. And he was like, I really like how she kind of almost artified that picture. And I was like, it's not artified. Like, she drew that. It's gorgeous. It's just really beautiful. We've included also some tidbits called Behind the Apron, which what's that, girls?
It's basically kind of like an interview with us, but on paper. And it's kind of, we answer questions about ourselves.
Yeah.
Like some of our favorite books and
or
what did our mistakes and stuff, like some of our biggest mistakes.
What is your favorite thing to bake? What is your least favorite thing to bake? That type of stuff.
Yeah, so we've included some kind of human interest little tidbits. The book is aimed at ages 10 to 15 officially, because publishers have to have like things that they put on their descriptions of their books. But if you've got a child that is younger than that and you feel comfortable being in the kitchen with them, or they're just advanced, then absolutely this book is for you. Could be boys, could be girls. If you have an older teenager, do you think these recipes are only for little kids?
No. If you're 5, you probably won't be able to make it.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
You could
break it to you.
I will say that is true of the more advanced recipes, but there's homemade goldfish, there's homemade pretzel bites. There's some things that if your mom was in there with you,
probably if you were little, you would be able to make about half of these recipes.
If your mama was right there beside you.
Yeah. Especially like no bake power balls.
Yeah.
Because you just got to smash it all together. There you go.
Yeah.
So Toby and Tyus like helping me make those.
Yeah, roll them up, stuff like that.
Yeah. So there's a range, but we didn't want it to just be a kid's book in the sense that there were kind of kid-like recipes where you combined already made ingredients. We have some options so that if you want to take something like, for example, our family's favorite birthday cake is in there, and you can use a boxed cake, but we have the full from scratch recipe. So there's from scratch recipes for everything in there. But if you wanted to do a shortcut and use store-bought graham crackers, you absolutely can. But we have a homemade graham cracker recipe in there.
One of the examples of that is our cookie recipe. It's toffee cookie, but we also have toffee recipe.
Yes. So we have a recipe for making your own toffee. And then you can crumble that up, chop that up, and put it in the recipe for our chocolate chip cookies. We actually repurposed like 3 or 4 recipes where you can take what we made and then put them in another thing that we make. And it's all from scratch.
We did that for cheesecake, I think, with graham crackers.
Yeah, we made the graham crackers and then we crushed them up and then we put them in little mini cheesecakes.
Also for like trifle when we made like the brownies, and then we also did like whipped cream and stuff. What was the other thing we put on that?
Strawberries.
The homemade chocolate filling for the chocolate cream pie.
Yes,
that was it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of these recipes, if you were to want to make several things at once, you could make a chocolate cream pie, and you could also make this gorgeous brownie trifle that layers that pudding with the homemade brownies. And we really tried to kind of think through ways that we could give you as much bang for your buck as possible. The girls are right. It turned out better than I ever expected. The pictures are beautiful. And I say that already having admitted to you that we didn't really know what we were doing as product photographers, but I'm really, really proud of how they turned out. I also say that because I ordered some kids' cookbooks in, and I'm sure there are really beautiful kids' cookbooks out there. But I ordered several just to look them through before we started this whole process. And I was not wildly impressed with the pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
I really like the colors of our book.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but several other kids' cookbooks are like violet purple, like bright blue.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't love that. So that's one thing about our book that I really like. Mm-hmm. It's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, kids' books, it seems like most of them are kind of sillier. Like, I don't know, they have like, more vibrant colors, and they have a little bit of a childish style. So I like that our book isn't like that.
Yeah, it's genuinely made by moms who wanted moms to enjoy it and kids who like beautiful, well-presented things. So that was really at the forefront of our minds. Really, really good bakes, like things that people will absolutely love eating all day, every day, and that our family really, really enjoys was the number one thing. And we already knew what those were because, and we'll talk about this in just a second, you guys have been making them for years. And two was a really fun experience with the book itself so that you actually wanted to use this book. Made it super user-friendly and beautiful. How long have y'all been baking, Evie?
Around 5 years. We started when we were getting into 8 years old.
And how old are you now, Evie?
I'm, 13?
Almost
14.
So almost 6 years.
6 years, you're right.
Yep. Math. Which y'all have to do quite a bit because when they first started doing recipes, the recipes would be for like 12 servings. So our homeschool math was a lot of times doing what?
Multiplying. I'm very good at multiplying 2s and 3s.
I used to be confused by 1.5. No, I understand it. So I learned something at least.
Yeah. Well, and again, they started baking and looking at these fractions and these doubling and tripling of recipes when they were 8 and 9 years old. So it really was a good life skill to learn. And it did take a little bit of learning.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I've gotten a lot better at reading recipes. When I was first learning how to bake, we wanted to surprise our parents when they came home from a date by making carrot cake. And let's just say it didn't turn out very well. I did not do 3 cups and a 4th cup of flour. Instead, I did 3/4 cups of flour.
Yeah. And technically, we weren't very good at baking, and we asked our brother, who
he had a little bit more experience. Now he doesn't bake at all, but he did a little bit bake, and he did tell me that it was 3/4 cups. But I don't think he actually looked at the recipe when I asked him. So
it's like, yeah.
Well, he should have paid a little bit better attention because he would have enjoyed eating the cake more. It was basically goo that was like dripping off. It wouldn't hold its form.
Yeah, well, it did when it came out of the oven hold its shape, and we iced it and stuff. We were a little bit like, oh no, what is this doing? And then, like, in the heat, it just started going
just slowly collapsed. Yeah. So why did y'all want to start baking at the very beginning, Nola?
On Saturday mornings, when Mama was pregnant, we just wanted to surprise our family with breakfast. So we started to look at a lot of recipes, and
we were surprised sometimes.
Especially by our green eggs. And
so basically, I don't know exactly what happened, but we had this ceramic. Like it had a ceramic coating on top of cast iron. Yeah. And I don't know what these girls did, but I don't know if they oxidized the eggs or what, but they had this kind of green bluish cast. I'm sure I'll get a comment telling me what the scientific process was that turned the eggs into.
I'd love to know because
maybe this is how they made green eggs and ham in Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah. He just saw our eggs and was like, I'll write a book.
Well, or maybe he used the same wrong process that y'all used. Yeah. But in any case, there are several family members that are now off scrambled eggs for life.
I'm included in that.
Oh, that's funny.
It's sad. I don't really like scrambled eggs anymore because green.
But that's okay. We recovered from that and we moved on to all these wonderful bakes that you did. They came to me basically when I was very pregnant, and then when I was nursing newborn twins and not getting hardly any sleep, and they were like, Mama, we're going to do this amazing thing. We're going to help you out so much, and we're going to do a breakfast every Saturday morning. Now, keep in mind, I'm a homeschool mom. This is September because all of my twins, Evie, Nola, Titus, Toby, all share the same birthday. So this is the end of September. School is in full swing, and I am trying to keep 2 newborns alive. I have 8 other children, And the only morning that I get to sleep in at all is Saturday morning because my husband is not working and I can go climb back in bed. And they're like, Saturday morning, we're going to bake. And I was like, no. Because I was like, I'm going to have to be up and like helping them. And oh man, that was going to be the morning that I slept in. So as wonderful as it sounds to all the mamas out there making the Saturday morning breakfast, to have breakfast made for you, when it's 8-year-olds telling you that, you're a little bit like, oh shoot.
Oh no.
At the time, I thought I was being amazing.
You were.
Not amazing, yes, but I wanted to be. Our motto in our family is be a blessing. And I wanted to do that.
And I recognize that. I mean, my internal dialogue was absolutely like, this is an example of children who want to be a blessing, maybe won't be as helpful as they want to be at the beginning, but I'm going to grit my teeth and say yes, because, gosh, did I know it was going to end up here? No. This never even entered my mind. At no point was I thinking one day they'll be good enough to write a book. But I didn't even have, I actually did have MS for Mama at that point. Or I was finishing it up. So I did have a book contract. But no, this thought never occurred to me. So you just never know. I just want to do this as an aside, as an encouragement to the mamas listening out there. You never know what your yes to your kids that's hard for you at the time is going to lead to. The Lord absolutely used that yes, begrudging though it was of the lack of sleep, and the messes that I knew would happen, because I mean, they're wonderful girls, but they're 8-year-old girls. There's going to be flour explosions and green eggs and spilled this and gooey that and more work.
Too salty stuff.
Yeah, stuff that had
muffins.
that had a tablespoon of salt instead of a teaspoon at the beginning. But man, don't the Bible says don't despise the small beginnings, because the Lord is capable of taking that little planted seed and doing amazing things. So I'm glad I fought back the urge to say no, because I did recognize that you guys were going to work really hard at it. My biggest memory at the very beginning was some sort of like pocket thing that y'all made. Do you remember making these? It was some sort of, I think, a ham and cheese pocket or something like that.
Yes. Are those the ones? Yeah.
Do y'all remember how it went?
I liked them.
I thought it went good. Oh no.
I love the perspective. So I think, her sister just corrected her grammar and said went well. That's funny. Proud mama moment. So the first time I remember they're attempting some sort of breakfast, like Hot Pocket. It had some sort of ham and cheese or something in it. It did not go super well. And I remember no sleep. There were some sort of, they don't remember this. This is the one that stuck in my mind.
I remember.
And we had to remake. Oh, I know what it was. Something went wrong and it was taking y'all a while. Cause that's the other thing, is when you have 8-year-olds like saying I'll make breakfast, but then they have to take their time because they're reading the recipe really closely. And sometimes breakfast wasn't until like 11:30 a.m. So this was one of those times. So everybody's hungry. I'm hangry and sleep deprived. And we had to remake everything. Like whatever it was, we had to start over. I'm telling that story not to shame them because they're well past it, but because there is this turkey and cheese Hot Pocket recipe that's in the book now that is
So good.
phenomenal. And I look back at that version of it that we did 6 years ago where I was like, ooh.
I do remember there was one time where we were making breakfast and it took a really long time, and mom was like, is it done yet, guys? And we were like, no, sorry.
But there are actually quite a few recipes. Tell me some of the recipes that are in the book that came from those early days of baking.
Banana muffins.
Yep.
Ham and cheese pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, more of the breakfast recipes because that's what we used to do. We used to do breakfast.
The scones, the chocolate chip scones.
Yes. But I think those turned out pretty well all the time.
Yeah, y'all actually pretty much nailed those from the very beginning. Those are the first recipe.
Okay.
That was one of the first recipes that they really put in. It came out amazing. Everybody raved.
Yeah.
Ezra now asked for that for his birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we, was the blueberry muffin sheet cake-ish thingy? I don't remember.
Lemon blueberry muffin sheet cake. Yep.
Yes,
we made that when some of our friends came over to, I don't know what they were doing, but they came over and Mama made breakfast with that. And everybody loved it. So
that was actually a mistake because we didn't have enough muffin tins, and so we just put it in a pan.
Well, then it turned out great.
It turned out great. So
hey, that's called serendipity, when just something maybe doesn't go quite like you planned it, but it just turns out even better than you expected. I think we made those when Becca and her family came over. It may have been before that too.
It was
Menardises. Okay.
No. Yes, I thought it was the very crunchy lady.
Oh, was it when Emily Morrow and her family came over?
I think so.
Did we make them? We were in, so we're trying to figure this out because some of these recipes we've been doing for so many years, we don't remember where they came from or whom we made them for. But yes, we did bake something yummy for the Morrows when they came over. We had really very crunchy and her family come over and stay with us, but we were in the rental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And their baking situation was not ideal.
No,
it was a very small kitchen. Didn't have very much supplies, baking supplies.
Yeah. we were scrounging for baking measuring cups at that point. But, obviously we're a little spoiled by having a very big kitchen and kitchen land. They have a whole baking corner that we created for them that they just get over there and work their magic in. I'm trying to think of some of the other really good recipes that came from that. But as they said, they used to do the breakfast. We don't do that anymore on Saturday mornings, but how often a week would you say that y'all bake?
Almost every day.
A lot of days, like at least every other day. But
it's probably closer to every day most of the time.
Probably.
Yeah. Talk about some of your favorite things from the book to bake. One of the things you're making today, right now, you have dough proofing.
Oh, yes. I love to make, it's not in the book, though.
Well, but just a version of it.
Well, we have focaccia in the book, and that's pretty fun to make. But also, I love to make cheddar and chives focaccia. It's really good.
Yeah, the cheddar chives focaccia is one of the best things I've ever eaten in my entire life. Like, oh my goodness. It's like perfectly bubbly and crispy. And if there's
the cheese that goes on the top and it makes like a perfect crunch. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
It's so good.
It is. But the focaccia that we have in the book, which was before we discovered
that's really good too.
Yeah, it's actually very, very tasty. It's kind of a base focaccia that you could add a lot of things to. Mm-hmm. So if you want to add cheddar and chives to it, you absolutely can.
Like once I made almond croissant-ish focaccia where you just got the almond paste and put it into the holes of the focaccia and baked it, and it was really good.
It was really tasty.
It was really good.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought to do that at all because I tend to think of focaccia as being savory, but it turned out super well. And that's another thing that I love about them is they're very innovative. They will get in there and be like, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to look up a recipe for this. And then I'm going to combine it with this recipe. And you know what I think I would like to do? Do this together. And then so many times it turns out and you're like, this is phenomenal. Like, do this every time. This was so good. Sometimes you think, never do this again. But most of the time it's good. Y'all just made some really cute macarons the other day. Tell us about those.
I made Paddington macarons because I love Paddington, but this year we want to do a Paddington birthday party, which I'm really excited about. I really like.
We've been making homemade decorations and stuff because there's like none, and like
you mean that you can buy, yeah.
Yeah, and I just get I think about something and I'm like, wait, we can do this. And I don't want to wait to do that, so I'm going to do it now. And
I'm not busy right now with school or anything, so that's
yeah.
Our homeschool co-op starts in a week, so they've still got a little bit of crafting time on their hands. They came to me, and again, as encouragement to all you mamas out there that have all the little kids, I used to do the elaborate themed birthday parties. I remember one of y'all's birthday parties. I spent days leading up to it, pre-making treats and crafts and banners and ordering things in. Yeah. Well, Tea Party Birthday was pretty epic, but this one was actually your third birthday, and it was a candy-themed one.
Was that one with the really cute outfits?
Mm-hmm.
I love those
I don't
outfits.
remember.
Pictures of us and not bad, but we look adorable.
Not
I don't remember.
It's the one where you'll have the little space buns and the
where
cute
we're like
little.
hugging each other.
Was that at the park?
Yes,
Oh, yes. I do remember that
she
now.
does remember now.
It was hot outside.
It was hot outside. Yeah, September 24th is still, it's not very fall around here.
Yeah, it's sad.
So I remember doing all of the prep, and it's just so much work to do yourself. And I loved doing it, but sometimes you just have to let some of that go when there are other demands on your time. And so it was interesting to me how I had kind of this 10 years ago response when Nola and Evie came to me and wanted a Paddington birthday for their 14th birthday, which honestly, cutest idea ever. Paddington is one of our family's favorite movies. And I immediately thought like, okay, I need to think about decorations and I need to think about how we're going to pull this off. And before I can say anything, Nola's like, so I haven't found any banners and I'm going to make one. And then they show up in like a couple of hours with the cutest hand-drawn banner you've ever seen. And I'm like, yep, I've made it. Like they want this party, so they're making it happen. It's pretty awesome. So wait, talk about the macarons. So you said they were Paddington macarons. So what did you do?
They were chocolate macarons with a chocolate filling. And I basically, to decorate them, I used white chocolate and piped little noses and then dark chocolate and piped, nope. The white chocolate was the snout, dark chocolate was the nose and the eyes.
Yep. So they literally made little Paddington heads with the red hat, the red little duffel. No, it's the duffel coat, the red little squash hat.
Yeah.
Red big hat.
Big hat. Yeah. And they taste absolutely amazing. Macarons have been a learning process.
Yes. I really like them when they turn out well, but I do not like making them just because when we were making them, like learning the recipe, trying to perfect it, it took a lot of tries and it was really
Nola, what did we
challenging.
discover was the actual secret to making good macarons?
Making sure that the shell is actually dry before you bake them, because I was extremely impatient and was like, you know what? I think that it's not making a complete indent, so I'm just going to put them in the oven. And that is not what you're supposed to do. You should actually be able to rub your finger over the top and it not make a smudge. And we learned that by a lot of tries, but also we put it into a room with a fan, and that like helped a lot. And then also like
just time.
Mm-hmm.
You had to give it a lot of time. So what she's talking about is the fact that when you pipe, you make macaron dough. What would you call it? Almost like batter. It's more like batter than dough. And you put it in a piping bag.
For some reason, I feel like there is a name for it, but I don't.
I don't either. I don't know.
Batter.
It's not. Yeah, sure. Batter. We'll call it batter. And you pipe it onto a little circle on your baking mat, on your silicone baking mat. And then you have to set it aside and let it set until a shell forms, a skin forms on top of the batter. And you cannot bake it, we discovered. And we really didn't find any recipes that emphasized.
They never really told you make sure it is dry before you bake it.
They're
They're just like, if you can touch it and it just make like this, then that's good. Just
Like if it doesn't like come onto your finger and you can just touch it lightly and it doesn't come onto your finger, then you can bake it now. But
not true.
yeah.
Well, I will tell you this, girls, and that is that my publisher, Heather Green, who was the one that I was having the conversation with when we decided to go for this whole baking thing, said that she's tried macarons multiple times. I think she said 4 or 5 times. They never turned out well. And she said, so I just opened she, of course, as the publisher, has first access to the book. She opened up the book and she had a birthday she was making them for because her son wanted something specific that was macarons were perfect for, and he asked for them. And she was like, okay, I'm using Evy and Nola's baking recipe. I'm using their macaron recipe, and I'm just going to follow the instructions exactly how they were written, which I'm going to take a teeny bit of credit because I did actually write them, but I did them according to your recipe and from your experience of learning, like they had to be really dry. And so any of the recipes that are more challenging, I've made sure to include notes about the lessons that we learned and things that really helped things to turn out well for us. And one of the notes that I gave was, these have to be completely dry to the touch. Like you cannot have any stickiness, any indentation. They have to be very, very dry before you stick them in the oven. And she said, I tried them and they turned out beautifully. They tasted amazing. It was the first successful batch of macarons she's ever made. And everybody went nuts for them at the party and ate them all up.
Wow, okay.
I know. I just grinned my face off when she told me that. She was like, I just want you to know you have given a really good recipe in the book. And I loved it. And everyone else loved it. And I felt successful for the first time making macarons.
That especially makes me happy because that recipe was the one that I mostly worked on. And having it like in the book that it's actually right. I know that was mostly you, but
No. I took your notes. I just put them in the words.
But kind of like knowing that she used the recipe from the book means that we did write it down right.
Yes, that made me sigh in relief. Again, my biggest fear is that, and we say, we were the ones that did it, and we were absolutely the ones that were muddling through this whole process. But we have a professional publishing company, so they have recipe makers look at it to make sure that they don't see like, oh my word, Abby, are you sure that you want to include this, 2 tablespoons of garlic in your cinnamon roll recipe? No, I did not do that. So we had professionals check it, and but yeah, no red flags, and one big win from the one person that's tried it. And then the girls will bake from their own recipe book now, so they'll make their own banana muffins, they'll make their own brownies. They have a lot of the recipes memorized, but they've been turning out great. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and release this before the book comes out because it comes out in October. But it's in the pre-order phase, so you're welcome to pre-order it. What is the recipe that you're most excited for people to try?
Probably the macarons.
Yeah. I mean, after Heather's response, I would say yes,
I'm excited.
too.
I'm like, wait, maybe people really love this.
Yeah. Probably the brioche bread. It takes a long time, but it's a fun process. You can make so many things out of it, and it's really tasty.
It's beautiful, too.
Yeah, it is.
Comes out super golden and
You just feel like a professional baker when it comes out. You're like, oh, I made that?
I could sell this at Berkshire's.
Berkshire's is a local to us grocery store. There's a lot of them, so some of you may already know what that is, but I just love that you said I could sell this at Berkshire's. It's like 5 minutes from our house. We spend way too much of our time at Berkshire's. Usually when Evy and Nola text us on the way home and say, we need more sugar, we need more eggs, we need more vanilla.
We need more butter.
That's true. We try to buy our butter in massive amounts. Although one time Berkshire's was where I found, if you follow me on social media, you'll know about the great butter event of whatever year that was. I think it was the end of 2024.
I think it was when we were starting to take pictures of the
No, it was
baking book.
Was it last year?
No, it was when we were first starting to video.
It was the beginning of a year.
It was in January. It would have been January 2025.
Yeah.
And then we had the whole year. But it's been a year and a half probably. So I went to Berkshire's, this little local grocery store that has quite a few around the country at this point. So it's not that little, but to us, it's a pretty small little local chain. And they had Kerrygold butter for I don't remember, like $1 for a box or something insane. I mean, it's literally, I think it's gone up to like $6 a box.
It's like at Berkshire's, it's like $6.
I think it was $1.60.
Yeah. And so I bought every box they had, which was like 20 boxes. And I was so excited because we were about to start testing all of these recipes. And I was like, thank you, Lord, for this amazing butter, this amazing cheap butter for our recipes. And I turned around to leave and I found another stash of it piled up like in this little carousel thing that had cheeses and butters and things in it. And I loaded the rest of it up. I looked like an insane person.
There was a full cart just stacked with butter.
Yep.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I think I got like 160 boxes or something like that. That feels like an insane amount. So maybe it wasn't that many, but I do think it was, I think it might have been.
$100.
I think it was more than 100. So there you go. Now you know how many calories of butter we have consumed. That's not even close to how many we have. That's just one huge section. But it did last us for like 7 months of baking.
Yeah.
And they bake a lot.
Whole months.
And y'all bake way more than the average person. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we hope you guys will order the book. I'll just say that completely plainly. We would love for you to order this book because we have poured our heart, soul, some blood, sweat, burnt fingers, sleepless nights, all the things into it. And we're really, really happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. And we think you guys will be too. I'll put all of the information for pre-ordering in the show notes. And we are actually off to make dinner and bake some things right now.
I'm going to make the cheddar and chives focaccia.
And I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies.
With Heath, right?
With Heath.
But not homemade Heath. Not tonight. We haven't had a chance to make it. It's been a homeschool day, so at least for me. Okay, guys, we hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for girls for being here.
Thanks for having us.
If you enjoyed the MS for Mama podcast, I would be so honored if you would subscribe and follow along, maybe share with friends, or even leave a review. And if you want more content on motherhood and biblical responses to cultural issues, be sure to follow along on Instagram at m.is.for.mama.